Forget long, boring negotiation classes. We're going to focus on one psychological trick, a single, powerful move you can use to immediately get a higher salary offer, and we're going to master it right now.
$1 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $1 million. That's what a single successful salary negotiation can add to your lifetime earnings. It's not just about the initial bump, it's the compounding effect on every single raise you get from here on out. The stakes are absolutely massive.
So what if you could rig the game? I mean, really stack the deck in your favor. What if there was a simple mind trick you could use to literally warp the other person's perception of your value, making them offer you more money from the get-go? Well, that's exactly what we're about to cover.
Okay, so the secret weapon here is something called the anchoring effect. And listen, this isn't some cheesy sales tactic, it's a fundamental quirk in how all of our brains make decisions. And if you get this, you get the key to taking control of any negotiation.
Here's the core idea. Our brains are lazy. When we're faced with an uncertain number, like a salary, our brain doesn't want to do the hard work of figuring it out from scratch. So it just latches on to the very first piece of information it hears. That number becomes the anchor, and every single offer after that is judged against it. We stop thinking objectively, we just measure the distance from that first anchor.
It's a mental shortcut. Instead of calculating true value, our brain just finds that anchor and adjusts from there. But here's the secret. Those adjustments are almost always way too small. That anchor has this gravitational pull that is incredibly hard to escape.
All right, let's make this real. I'm going to walk you through two scenarios so you can see with your own eyes how this little mind trick completely changes the game.
Okay, scenario A. This is what most people do. You let the company go first. You're playing defense, letting them set the frame for the entire conversation. So the company throws out a number, $50,000. Boom! They've just anchored you low. Now, even though your target is $70,000, that $50K number is just stuck in everyone's brain. All of a sudden, a counteroffer of $60,000 seems reasonable, right? See what happened? Their anchor just dragged the entire negotiation range down, and the final outcome is almost guaranteed to be closer to their number, not yours.
But what if we flip the script? In scenario B, you seize control. You go first, and you set a high, strategic, and really well-researched anchor. You're the one defining reality now.
This time, you state your number first, $85,000. Now just look at what happens. The company's $50,000 budget now seems ridiculously low, doesn't it? The new reasonable midpoint is way, way higher than before. You've successfully warped their perception of what a fair salary even is. That's the power of the anchor. So the takeaway is crystal clear. You have to be the one to set the anchor. But how do you do it effectively? You can't just pull a huge number out of thin air. There are 3 simple research-backed rules you gotta follow. First up, rule number 1, use precise numbers. Research is totally clear on this. An offer of $98,450 is way more powerful than $100,000. Why? Because a round number just feels like you're guessing. A specific, kind of weird number like that, it signals that you've done your homework. It suggests you know the market value down to the dollar, which makes your anchor more credible. They adjust less.
Rule number 2, use what's called a bolstering range. Instead of asking for just one number, you offer a range where your real target is the bottom of that range. For example, you say, I'm looking for a package in the 110 to 120K range. This move is just brilliant. It maintains that high anchor of 120K, but the range makes you seem flexible and collaborative, not demanding.
And finally, rule number 3, which might be the most important of all. After you state your number, stop talking. Seriously, this is where most people fail. They feel awkward, so they immediately start justifying the number, which just weakens its power. You state your number clearly and confidently, then you embrace the silence. Let that anchor sink in. Let them be the first to speak. It is a power move, and it works.
Okay, we've covered the what, the why, and the how. Now for the most practical part. Let's look at the exact word-for-word scripts you can use to put this into practice in any situation.
When you get a new job offer, here's your script. Notice how it combines all our rules. It references market research, it highlights your specific value, and then it drops that precise high anchor. It's confident, it's data-driven, and it is incredibly effective.
If you want to use that range tactic, here's the language. Again, you're grounding the request and expertise in industry standards, and that little phrase allows us some flexibility. That's key. It reframes the whole thing as a collaborative effort, all while your anchor is pulling the final number right towards your target.
But what if they anchor first with a lowball offer? Don't panic, you just re-anchor. This script lets you politely set their anchor aside and introduce a new, more realistic one backed by data. You're not just countering, you are resetting the entire frame of the conversation to a much more favorable zone.
Recruiters often try to anchor you low by asking for your salary expectations early. Your goal is to deflect. This script does two things beautifully. It delays giving a number until you have more information, and it cleverly turns the question right back on them, forcing them to reveal their anchor first.
So let's end with this thought. The anchoring effect isn't magic. It's a predictable part of human psychology. It will happen in every single negotiation you have. It is unavoidable. So the only real question is, are you going to let someone else use it on you, or are you going to be the one who sets the anchor and controls the outcome? The choice is yours.